Mr. President, Mr. President.
Mary, go ahead.
So when did you lose the cyber war?
Okay, Mary, that's actually a tough question, and I will tell you that all the way back in 2010, I'd say, we realized that we were in dire straits. We thought we were hiring good, new, energetic young people that were going to come in and keep us ahead of that cyber curve and solve many of our other problems as well. Based on the studies that we're looking at now, and we're realizing that we were dealing with an incoming workforce that was very different from what we thought we knew. And that included things like just very different ideals, work habits, goals. So I think when we look back, I go back to 2020, yeah. We realized that no matter what we were doing at that point, we just could not attract and retain that Generation Y workforce. The few that we were able to get, I hate to say it, but we didn't keep them very long. They quickly left, did not seem to be able to connect with our institution. When the cyber attacks occurred last year, our workforce was overwhelmed. And frankly, our adversaries got the best of us. But it didn't stop there. Our problems extended beyond the cyber wars. In fact, most of our federal agencies were degraded in one form or another. Particularly, I'd mention our health care, our banking, and even Veterans Affairs. They were severely impacted by this. We're seeing that the federal government just was not persistent enough in pursuing, hiring, and retaining that Generation Y workforce. Frankly, we just weren't prepared for them.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Oh, Bob, okay.
So, Mr. President, doesn't that then beg the question, how could we have been better prepared?
Bob, it's a tough question and yet a reasonable question, I would say. And I start with just by saying it, hindsight is 20/20.
Indeed, Mr. President, you are correct. Hindsight is 20/20. But there's no need for hindsight in this situation. Why not go straight to the source? The 2010s, as you described, did not have to be a time of dire straits. The workforce you sought to attract was there all along. We were hungry for jobs that harnessed our talents and innovative ways of thinking, but we quickly realized our ways were not your ways. The 2020s came and went. We couldn't see a world where we fit in the government, so we simply looked elsewhere. When the cyber war came, you were ill prepared to fight it. I believe it was a singer of your generation who famously wrote, "We didn't start the fire." Well, Mr. President, we didn't start the cyber war, but the vacuum we created didn't help you fight it either. You see, our vacuum, the lost generation, is more of a statement about society in general. But make no mistake, the greatest tragedy, our biggest loss as a country, is losing an entire generation whose skills, creativity, and talents are indeed lost. Yes, Mr. President, you are right. The government should have been better prepared.